We all want to create healthy habits and watch as they grow and develop, setting the pace for exactly the futures we want to have, right? We don't mind spending hours and hours digging and digging as long as we know that at the end of our labor, a deep and crystal clear well of running water will indeed await us and will indeed taste just as sweet as we'd anticipated. And I'll speak for myself. I don't mind spending countless hours staring at a computer screen, for example, squeezing my brain for every last drop of creativity, as long as someone can come at me from the future and assure me that if I follow these specific steps, one day my creativity will amount to something tangible, some kind of sustainable monetary reward that will motivate me to keep moving even harder. But I honestly think I speak for more than just myself. Most of us are so much more likely to follow an arduous formula if someone could guarantee it would take us to where we want to be. Why else do we read self-help books? It's because someone claims to have cracked a code that we think we need. And the same goes for YouTube content and blogs and podcasts. I'd go as far as to say that 9 times out of 10, we're waiting for a quick fix, or at least an accessible solution to our problems. Someone who's been there, done that before us, to give us the gist of how it's done. We all have goals, and we all want an easy play-by-play to follow in the direction of their achievement. So, at the start of each new year, we'll all sit around the warm fireplace and read our goals to one another for accountability. One person wants to write the book they've been trying to write by the end of the year. Another wants to become self-employed, and so on and so forth. And then we'll spend the rest of the year binge consuming how-to content and change our diets and incorporate intensive fitness routines because the guy on the internet promised that that's how we'd look like him. And we all want to look like him. But if life has shown me one thing over the past 3 years, it's that literally nothing on the planet or in this life is guaranteed. Nothing in the world can be calculated and anticipated with absolute certainty. Even though everywhere, to our left and to our right, are books and podcasts and Instagram and TikTok influencers trying to sell us the 3 steps to making $100 million by the end of 2024, or 5 ways to ensure you'll lose at least 15 kilos by the end of the year. So let me gladly be the one to burst the bubble. Those people have no idea what they're talking about. Because sure, such a simplistic one-size-fits-all may work for some people. Otherwise, they wouldn't have submitted their books or YouTube videos for publication. It's just that, what if these how-tos and formulas don't end up working for us? Or if, God forbid, our lives go off script altogether to where these goals are no longer even relevant to begin with. We experience a loss or something devastating happens, and now all of a sudden, no goal appears to us other than making it to bed in one piece at night. We'll end up with hearts and minds full of bitterness and resentment, is what will happen. Something no one has made a how-to video on before. Luckily, in the department of disappointment and a life gone rogue, you can definitely lend me your ears. Because in November of 2020, the year that turned all our lives upside down, I got married to a man I'd been in a relationship with for 3 whole years prior to the I do's. But all it took were 375 days of marriage before I realized that there's no way I can keep going. So, before the age of 30, I was divorced, which, if you're a Christian girl here in Egypt like me, immediately turns you into a social, societal, and possibly even congregational pariah. Then, a few months later, My sweet emotional support dog was poisoned right before my very eyes and died. I had PTSD and couldn't sleep for months. Then, just when I thought I'd finally be able to catch a break, my mother got diagnosed with a very aggressive cancer that she and our entire family suffered very slowly and barely through for a whole year. So yeah, nothing in my life has gone according to plan for the last 3+ years. So needless to say, this year, as the waters so far have gradually calmed the ruthless raging, I found myself at a crossroads. On the one hand, the burning question was begging to be answered, which is, what then is the point of setting goals or integrating new healthy habits into my life when I could wake up one day and find that life itself has become unfamiliar? Now that I've experienced the unforgiving extent of life's absurdity firsthand, I can't unknow what I know. But on the other hand, we human beings, and we human beings alone, have within us the capacity to reflect on our experiences, reason with and dissect them towards a greater end, oftentimes to an end even greater than can be achieved in this material world. Our work and our striving are what set us apart from other creatures on our planet. Our goals, our efforts. So sure, life is absurd, and the rug can very well be swept up from underneath our feet at any given moment. But how can we justify our very existence if the way that we choose to respond to life's unpredictability is by throwing in the towel altogether? The conclusion I've arrived at is that we need to change the question we're asking. Previously, all the goals and habits we set out to achieve were related to specific projects or actual things that we hoped we'd be able to check off an even bigger list of things we wanted to achieve. Lose the 10 kilos, publish a book, start a side hustle, etc. Our question was, what do I want to achieve? But there is a better question to ask, and that is, who do we want to be? Because when we focus all our efforts and energies on growing and enriching our characters, we can, in the very least, become people whose courage and integrity carries them through the difficult curveballs. And the cool thing is that naturally, as we invest our precious time and effort into becoming better, more resilient people, we automatically also achieve our big goals. We do write the book and lose the stubborn weight and whatever else we dream of accomplishing when we invest our energies into becoming disciplined people who live with purpose. The only difference now is that those goals become the byproduct, not the goal in itself.